by this time they be very sure say Ebia will baby a catcher. Say ma, yes, virus be ba HANTAVIRUS and every cremu and a day. And now say the one will be WhatsApp status. Say be a HANTAVIRUS be a banana coffee be was shape so near dear and common crowd to say. Ye be the commoner. Nay, any doctor bako, I just say what did the old Ghana hasi. And so attitude and common. It's a be here, so I video a cocoa series. I gossip for Adama. Myself, so maybe a subscribe button so now I click the bell notification icon. So follow your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, and so at gossip24.com. Any Gossip24 TV. Now make how say last Palmas for a gusua almost serve Ghana for with the best of the best dishes. Myself, so we events be contacting last Palmas for catering needs, no. Fashion last Palmas sponsor. Say a watch, say a jollof, say a fried rice, benku, or mutu na open event, and I say, me say fashion last Palmas sponsor. Say a corporate event, so now a desserts be near the na mopa. Last Palmas for any nabi. On my number said that's skin no. Fair. And that's what's up here more. Remember back to common so. You and I have lived through COVID. You who dear COVID by ye senior Ghana high see now ye lockdown now we are self and nana man for. So anytime there is a mention of a virus no. Ghana for and I say we are seeing now a shop say hey lockdown be beba and I said it sa HANTAVIRUS again. The first time I remember say HANTAVIRUS no was on Daily Mail. It was actually in the year 2020, right? About COVID time now, no. And yet, say, that time, no, say China virus be actually or harm of people who are basmo because a crack a cap upon no musu say HANTAVIRUS now affected upon no. Well, now ye news at around that time, Biano. I'm sure so you came across that article, and that was as far back as 2020. It's virus are new. It has been in the system. However, the virus no, and South America. Honomo more Chile ni Argentina ho and I say what I say enkra and edoma and this virus never. Now wait and I see a probusumi mui. Ship be a 2 year a cruise ship they say they know MV Honduras a 2 free Argentina just Argentina port be on me for Ushuaia a ho and I say a 2 free year air on a 45 days cruise 80 Omo ship ni mu no eni papa kwa 149 and that's 150 and omo ship ni mu and omo cruise e wo nsuo so for 45 solid days inti e mo to free Argentina ho no omo ko island we na omo ko Sandwich Islands omo ko Tristan de Cunha Islands omo ko St Helena omo ko Kosa Islands we na but before so omo ko St Helena no and papa ba ko just say of Netherlands what is our Dutch ni Anna Oyare, Nasawa Payno with this 69 years old. Oyare on the 11th of April 2026. No Oyare, no, that is the symptoms are all shown. No. I say fever, kakratch, no, nitia niya, niyem, what is it, naya, say ya, or call private intented, the back said diarrhea, no, and only symptoms are achieve past 69-year-old. One more, and a pay, eternanum, our and sedo. Kasani nyemu no embe opani channel no monse no anybody kan ebe report situation no e wo social media so I brand here who screen so your friend Jake.
I normally wouldn't make a video like this, but I feel like I need to say something, so I wrote a few things down. I am currently on board the MV Honduras, and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people with families, with lives, with people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home. So if you're seeing coverage about this, just remember that there are real people behind it. And that this isn't something happening somewhere far away. It's happening to us right now. I'll share more when I can, but for now, I just ask for your kindness and understanding. Thank you.
Na Jake besu ye no, na de say news taba beda bonte say HANTAVIRUS bi, and na de say eku saba pay. Now so, na papa na di shape nemu for 2 weeks. Ama just omo ko pie mu e was St Helena. St Helena no ebe Angola ho no mo aside. Inti ho e na just omo ko pie ye e wo omutumi eyi papa no e body no e free ship ni mu e de call Angola. there's some de call Angola no and then papa na yere eka ho bia one ne kunu body no etu free Angola ebe piemu e South Africa airport a e Johannesburg no medru sa airport no ena maame no papa no de chiri papa 69-year-old na we worship ni mu wa worship ni mu for 2 weeks and say no mu ko do St Helena no ne yere no e collapse ye Johannesburg airport at South Africa on the 24th of April 2026. O collapse here once more. Na de say ma mene so atena no won salu ntia ba be nipa mienu ena omawu. Omo investigate here na say ma mene so no sa HANTAVIRUS yi enkura ena no ma na de bei ebi ena de say achi omo. Ama de so mienu no atena no won sie do. Sa menu mu na ship da so ha esi St Helena honomo. Enye ntuye ena sa news we eba bonten na me na sa time na ship no was St Helena na sa made the ship no a movie towards Ascension Island and then the UK near branch bi so e complain yes or no so ne ho fa no so show similar symptoms to 69-year-old Dutch papa no just ocha na no said was ship so no we are shipping so no so show symptoms say similar into mo say no and the HANTAVIRUS and actually UK near branch into no so no we evacuate no e ma mo kwa Ascension Island no e no we evacuate no e de ko piemu e was South Africa as how made no there or that intensive care unit e was South Africa honorable and na man for be hwemu say na ba ne say and as how yare e call ship so because yare we there indeed our Argentina and Chile honorable but almost to say it could be say omo ship ne so no almost free ship ni mu e islands bi so e bia omo kokohwe no ma because enoma eja na to me desire ne ba e na afa so enkura eja na ni ade oda say rat makwala akwa ni ade to me desire ne ba itie bia omo visit island ti bia na so omo kohwe cave bi e na bia omo kofa desire de ba ship ne so ampani ampa ye go back to sa Jake na obeso ye ni a page ono na say passengers no na omo wo sa MV Honduras ship is almost free ship no mu echo islands ni bi so echo ko hwehwe de wo ho ko hwe no ma ne ade say the almost suspect here na asa na say eme almost share cruise na se no omo ye islands no mo kokoso from Sandwich Islands echo Tristan da Cunha any ade no sa omo si ye no omo kokohwe no ma was our islands so and a baby say omofa sa yare no e de ba ship ne so I just say yare no so based on ehwehwemu a sa medie apomudifo aye into yare no omo kira say ba o video mu a e take be 8 weeks answer adedi say yare no bi aba o video mu enti at this moment no ema just say no mo free St Helena echo Ascension Island no and na UK nya branch no so e yare ya omo evacuate no e de ne call South Africa ono the other intensive care unit no mo free Ascension Island abebesi akọ Cape no and no mo we on the 2nd of May say Germany ni maame bi e wo ship no so complain sa so yare fever and ni yem or fe or co private ni de kaka ho kojoto 2nd of May ono so atana no e won siedo enti e no mu du Cape ne de Cape for ama obi ensi fi ship ni mu omo ama ship na bubble port ho no mu mpo omo ma ship ni koso awo nsuo ni so and omo deploy a medical team e ma te so omo call ship ni so because our media na ewuo na ba be ye miensa Dutch for mienu Germany ni ba ko and the other intensive care unit so UK ni e wo Johannesburg na Cape medical team no call ship ni so no and omo kokon hu se inipa miensa enso e yare wo ship ni so na sa nipa miensa no kra no shape na mu no doctor no e ka ho doctor worship ni mu e ka ho ade so no kra no critical condition and omo ka say ye ntumi ma mo fi shape ni mu e ma Cape mo nko so an worship ni so e ba be hwe mo e na say Cape for e ko ye ko hwe omo worship ni mu ni ade for mo samples de ba e ba analyze mu say de bi HANTAVIRUS ni bi e na achi sa enipa miensa e worship yi esu it is how made the shape no every Cape honomo na heading to Europe either say ebeko Spain and na ebeko Canary Islands and as Spain for you ebe ya ka ship no enko Canary Islands. Somebody they doing the ship enko ship enko Canary Islands. Na Spain what there ain't me about because Canary Islands no bet me isolate situation. And the president of Canary Islands say hey ha Debbie HANTAVIRUS wohwe senya ekum obi ne yere obaako da intensive care unit Germany mami ewu awo ship mu enipa me ese yare doctor kra a wo ship ni mu ana ohwe omo yare no kra no HANTAVIRUS bi ache no na mo bia se mbra Canary Islands ha sese debi ye tu ma ship no emba ha sei Spain for to be sorry preko pen ka say no Canary Islands ka omo to be sorry preko pen in fact omo mo Tenerife kra no ense omo gitu mu a enyi in some media we are seeing now a ship no beko see Canary Islands and now say enkokosi at the time I recorded this particular video. However no there was an interesting development and the free Switzerland and a buy say papa bi na o cruise ship no eso emra hye a free Argentina and sana airco Sandwich Islands near ade no omudu baby along the line no e no o see free ship ni so a offer plane besin call Switzerland a no offer plane e besin call Switzerland na sa papa no owo fia no hu say wa sha se nya fever ne hu se danfa no eni ade inti okọ physician ho okọ doctor hwe na doctor se debi ebem say HANTAVIRUS ibi na cho na wo hefa eno ochim say oh no wo MV Honduras ship no so no kan nipa 149 na mo ship no eso no eno on the osi every ship no mo a oba fie because no wa de bia wo so ye na doctor say debi yan quarantine na steady kakra omo quarantine no mo steady na that is a summary ono so HANTAVIRUS no owobi a chese ne yere nso enne busuafo ya quarantine omo esa na ye ne doctor e ba betwetwe enkobo because summary se wo hwe enipa dodo na worship ni mu a enipa no bebe 149 and I say 150 some report 150 some report 149 na enipa no omo say there are 23 nationalities and omo worship ni so as am the enipa mienu a omo ye Dutch for ewu Germany ni baako on the other so a worship ni so and Britain ni enso baako a just order intensive care unit was South Africa no Canada for worship ni so 4 America for worship ni so 17 Britain for worship ni so 19 and Spain for worship ni so ebi mu say 15 ebi mu say 13 right other nationalities in here yinyanya mo number na say Ghana ni bi worship ni so a na let's say was a concern Emma Ghana for do enyam be dabon say Ghana ni bi also say Ghana ni bi eni so na sabe so news na ba social media so me sure say so what say me a oyem hihyew say den e na yenye enti any doctor Michael Baini ba betwe enkomo Dr. Michael Baini obi a wa appear on a lot of platforms why omo feature no BBC omo feature no Joy omo feature no TV3 omo feature no MX24 and as I'm so the Gossip 24 so yes Saka doctor about enkomo so doctor welcome to Gossips 24. So like I said we are going to get a qualified medical doctor who, I mean, he has been on a lot of platforms by all standards. He has been on BBC, he has been on TV3, he has been on Joy, he has been on one of my favorite channels, MX24, and he's in the person of Dr. Michael Baini. Doctor, welcome to Gossips 24.
Thank you so much, Clement. I'm very grateful.
I mean, you know, I am blessed to have you here. Behind behind the scenes, I was saying that I could have rewritten a favorite song of mine and then inserted your name in that particular song so that it fits how glad I am to have you. But Doc, let's get to today's conversation. Are we going to experience another COVID-19 situation from this whole HANTAVIRUS news that has started spreading on social media?
So HANTAVIRUS has actually been in existence for a long time, and it's usually around the Americas. But now it looks like we are having a case away from the Americas, and that's how come the world's eye is actually popping out of its socket. Yeah. But I don't think it's something which we should actually be afraid of because it's still far from getting to other places aside it being in South America. Mind you, the hantavirus actually happened, or the outbreak actually happened on a ship.
Yeah.
And that ship was actually coming from Argentina, which is also South America. So it's something that is quite common there. Okay. Just like the way Ebola is quite common in Africa than anywhere else in the world. Hantavirus is very, very common in South America than anywhere else in the world. So I don't think it's should get rid of it right now.
So you are saying that you don't foresee us getting to that stage where maybe one day we'll say there is a lockdown, even in Ghana will be affected. That there will be a lockdown even in Ghana.
Oh, the emergency response systems have been applied, and I know due to some of the stringent regulations around outbreaks like this, I think it's going to be contained. For instance, we're going to Cape Verde Islands when they came from Argentina to dock, but they were like, they don't want that. And finally, I heard that they are going all the way to Canary Islands around Spain.
And they are being rejected by the president of the Canary Islands.
Exactly. So they are trying to make sure that it's going to be well checked. I don't think it's going to be something that we are going to have a lockdown. I'm quite optimistic and hopeful that it's not going to happen like that.
Okay, Doc, aside you being quite optimistic, right? Let's me be a pessimist here. Let's assume that there is a case in Ghana. Do you think Ghana, genuinely, from where you sit and from how you see the entire health structure in Ghana, do you think we are prepared if there should be a case of hantavirus or an outbreak here in Ghana? Do you think we are prepared?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Comparing Ebola virus to hantavirus is actually a chicken in the size of Ebola. But really? We're able to make sure it's well checked that it doesn't really even come to Ghana. Even if you hear it, then that means that it's someone who is coming from another country entering into Ghana. And even that, our port health systems have been put in place for surveillance and to be able to check out for some of these things. So I don't think I'm quite hopeful. I'm quite hopeful that it's not going to get into Ghana. And even if it gets into Ghana, I think the systems that we learned, systems actually learn. Okay, emergency systems actually learn. So we've learned from Ebola, we've learned from COVID-19 how we're able to make sure that we're well protected. So institutional memory is still there. So we know that if we should even make incursions into Ghana, I think Ghana is well prepared to be able to face such.
So talking about, we are talking about Ghana because Ghana is where we all live, and so we should be concerned about ourselves rather than being worried about the world. Of course, maybe we may have relatives outside there, but let's talk about Ghana. So looking at Ghana, right, do you think that sometimes, because I'm not sure you've had this hantavirus conversation anywhere on any media platform in Ghana currently, right? Mm-hmm. So do you think Ghana sometimes delays in educating the public on some of these things? Do you think our reaction, we are not proactive enough, or is it just that because it is not yet here, there is no need? How do you take it?
Okay, so just like the way and manner when security is being done or security checks are being done, we just don't know up until it actually gets way hand, and then we have to brief the public about it. I can tell you that even now there are terrorist attacks against Ghana, but you never hear it because emergency responses, security responses are actually done very undercover. Do you understand? It's done undercover and you don't even know. I can tell you that the port health systems of Ghana is in such a way that if they find out that we have something like that, like hantavirus, for instance, there is an emergency response that has been ignited, but you don't know, such that anybody who is coming in, we know that we are able to. Okay,
don't you think we should know? Don't you think it's something we should know? Like some sort of assurance.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying, that for instance, diseases don't just happen in the blue. they take transmissions. Okay, they have a way it's actually transmitted. So, for instance, if anybody is coming from around Spain and Argentina, that particular person, maybe the person gets into Ghana, I can tell you that the emergency response would be activated. Such a person will be, so to say, very well screened as compared to any other person. Maybe it's the person coming from New Zealand, or the person coming from Swaziland, or the person coming from South Africa. The person coming from South Africa, we are going to be stringent on the person coming from Argentina as compared to someone coming from this other side, Argentina. Exactly. So we are actually very picky. We don't just go about looking out for certain groups of people just like that. We have an information that we rely on to be able to make decisions. Otherwise, we'll just be making decisions amiss. But we don't want to make decisions amiss. So I think that, or I know that emergency response systems have actually been activated, but we just don't know. If we have a case like that, I know that the Ministry of Health would come up with a communique that is going to make us all aware. For instance, we have port systems in Ghana. We have the land port and the water port.
Yeah, the water and then the air.
The water and the air. Okay, so water, air, land. So I can tell you that the emergency response at the water side or at the sea side are going to be heightened as compared to the other places, because we know that it actually happens on ships. So definitely the ships coming from South America by now will be properly screened before they even get or make incursions into Ghana. So I know that the emergency response systems have actually been activated. Ghana is also a member of the WHO, the World Health Organization. So we are also a point of reference when it comes to surveillance. And then when such reports are made, it's going to the headquarters of WHO. And then emergency response systems, if it's beyond Ghana, they come to help so that the outbreak doesn't get into the real country.
Let me take you back a bit, right? So, in finding out about hantavirus, one of the things that we discovered was that it takes 8 weeks for symptoms to show and all of that, right? And in your submission, you mentioned that the emergency response and then the ports of entry, both land, sea, there's somebody coming from Argentina, Chile, or maybe the Netherlands, where some cases have been confirmed, or perhaps Germany, and even South Africa, where the first fatality was also confirmed, and the second as well, right? It will be, the precautions will be stringent at the various ports of entries. What about someone who entered before this news got to the media, right? What about someone who entered before then? How are we going to handle such an individual? Are there measures in place in Ghana that we are able to track, our health systems able to track such persons to see that, hey, you entered the country, you know that you entered the country about 4 or 6 weeks ago, but you were in this country, maybe you were in Argentina, maybe you were in this particular island. Is it possible? Do we have something like that?
Yeah. So yes, there is something like that. So diseases have symptoms and they have signs. So we put it together and it gives us a greater sense of suspicion that maybe you have maybe a viral infection, possibly due to a hantavirus. We will have other tests that we can do, like PCR, like the polymerase chain reaction test that we can do. The same polymerase chain reaction test was what we used to do for COVID-19. And I know Ghana has a lot of PCRs. So we don't just go thinking that everybody may have a hantavirus. We have systems in place, sometimes diagnosis of exclusion, where maybe we check for malaria, we check for very common causes of fever and these constitutional symptoms like vomiting, which is associated with hantavirus. And we realize that the person is actually not doing well, then we start thinking. So it's a whole connected system, network system, well thought through, web system that communicates one to another. So I know that even if somebody has actually breached the port and has entered into the system, I know that there are systems internally, not just externally around our borders, but there are systems systems internally that are able to make sure that they communicate with the externals and WHO and any other organization and any other institution that is relevant to this particular conversation. So I know that Ghana can be able to do it if we're able to work out monkeypox virus. We're able to work out COVID-19. We're able to work out Ebola. I don't think hantavirus is out of our reach. I think we're able to surmount this.
But Ghana has history, right, with rodents, because this hantavirus is coming from rodents. I mean, the first case that was confirmed in China in 2020, it was a rat, or how should I say, it was a rat that infected him and he lost his life. Our markets, right, there are a lot of rats in our markets. Ashaiman, Kataman, Tuabu. So if you say we've been able to manage monkeypox, COVID-19, don't you think some of the things that brought about these viruses or these pox infections are different from the hantavirus? So it's very possible that we can get it and it can be easily infect us as Ghanaians, looking at how our markets are infested with these rodents and what have you.
Right. I mean, it's an intelligent guess, an intelligent question you're asking. In fact, I've Gossip 24. I like your analysis so well. But let me give you an example. Okay.
Yeah.
An example is Lassa virus. Lassa virus is very, very common in Nigeria. Lassa virus is also transmitted through rodents, or rodents are the main carriers of Lassa virus.
Okay.
It's very common in Nigeria. It's actually a hemorrhagic fever virus. So these infections are common in Nigeria. We have Nigerians making incursions into our country, but we never even hear of Lassa virus, isn't it? Exactly, because of
one can perhaps also argue that maybe our laboratories are not, maybe the how do I say, the equipment, we don't have those equipment to detect. Can't one argue?
Oh, it will be flawed. The reason why it's going to be flawed is because the laboratory test, confirmatory test for hantavirus is PCR, and Ghana has it. That was the same testing we're using for COVID-19. So we'll be able to test it. And the way and manner is, if you remember from COVID-19, from institutional memory, there was a certain time we had to fumigate our market areas and public areas.
Yes.
Because of some of these things. Okay. Yeah. So there are systems that are put in place. It's just like criminal laws in Ghana. You will never know that actually laws work in Ghana until it grips you hard. Okay. So it's the same thing that can be applied here. The systems that are running, I can tell you that each and every week in Ghana, we report cases on meningitis, but we only hear it at certain times of the year. It doesn't mean that all the other months we're not actually checking for meningitis. Okay. Are you getting it? So they are serialized reporting that you are supposed to do. Some of them you do them weekly. Okay, it goes to headquarters, it goes to Ghana Health Service, it goes to Ministry of Health. Even if you don't have a case, you are supposed to report it as zero. So there are emergency responses that are actually running day in and day out, but we actually don't know.
Okay, you were on the Nigeria point. I took you off that.
So just like Lassa virus is also it's a zoonotic disease. That is, when I say zoonotic disease, I mean diseases that can affect both animals and human beings at the same time. So it's a zoonotic disease, okay, that is actually transmitted through rodents, just like what? Hantavirus. So if we've been able to make sure, or we have a system put in place to be able to counteract Lassa virus, which is very, very close to us, just in Africa, in Nigeria, and we have a lot of Nigerians in Ghana. Viruses. Exactly, we are brothers. So we don't have a lot of Lassa viruses, and I don't even remember the last time we even had Lassa virus in Ghana. Do you get it? Because there are emergency response systems, there are systems that have been able to learn and be re-engineered such that we'll be able to counteract some of these things. And mind you, the viruses, most of them are from the same family. For instance, hantavirus is from Bunya virus. Bunya, it's from the family or the species called Bunya virus. Okay, so Bunya virus is also an automyxovirus, of which coronavirus is part, of which Lassa virus is also part of it. So you can clearly see that they all have a certain way of protection, or there's a way of treating
it.
There's a way of preventing them. For instance, we have typhoid, we have cholera. The way and manner we protect ourselves from cholera is the same way and manner we protect ourselves from typhoid. Are you getting it? So even if we are having an outbreak of cholera, we just have an institutional memory that has been learned, re-engineered for typhoid, and we just reapply for that of cholera.
So just like
hand washing for COVID-19, we just can apply.
You can apply. So that
it's not rocket science at all.
Yeah. Before I leave you, right? So let's assume you were in charge of preparing Ghana for maybe a hantavirus or outbreak possibility, right? Let's just say there are about 4 Ghanaians who were on the MV Hondios cruise ship, and you are preparing Ghana towards a possible hantavirus case. How would you have handled it?
So it's multi-sectorial. We have the primary, we have the secondary control, and then the tertiary control. But in our world today, it's all about disease prevention rather than getting into the secondary interventions and the tertiary interventions. So all that I want to tell people around us and people watching Gossip 24 TV is that, don't panic at all. Don't panic at all. All that you need to do is that if you know that there's someone who came into Ghana, he's your family member, who came into Ghana, he came through the ports, the water ports, from a ship, and the person is having any sign and symptom that even looks like malaria, it is not time for you to second guess that I'm going to the pharmacy. Get to the hospital as soon as possible. It's better to go to the hospital for them to say that we've been able to run the test and it is malaria and we are treating you of it, than thinking that we can just go malaria way. Our health seeking behavior should change, especially the whole country should have a change of health seeking behavior, but most especially people who actually have relatives who came into the country through a ship. I think should have any symptoms like fever, like running, normal cold, all these symptoms. Please, it's not time for you to think it's catarrh. It's not time for you to think it's malaria. Even if you do an RDT at home and it is malaria, I think you should go for a confirmatory test at the hospital. Let them tell you that yes, indeed, it's due to malaria, and then we are treating you of it. Okay, and don't panic at all. The way and manner we are able to protect ourselves is that now you should be very wary of rodents that we buy, the bush meat that we buy. Exactly. Yes, you should be really, really wary of things like that. Wash your hands regularly and thoroughly, especially when you are getting it from the market. Even when you are getting it from the supermarket, I think you should actually wash it very well. If it's suspicious, be very, very, very careful, especially the vegetables like lettuce, vegetables like cabbage, vegetables like carrots, because they are on the ground. Rodents can easily get access. I'm not saying rodents cannot get up the tree, but it's actually easy for rodents to get to cabbages that are on the floor and eat them and infest them. So you should be very wary of things I have said like that. And then hand washing, just your normal things that we used to do for COVID-19 is just good enough for us to be able to protect ourselves. And always know, when it comes to emergency responses, when it comes to leadership, health leadership in the world, Ghana sits on top. When it comes to Africa, Ghana sits on top, and that's how come we hear lots of outbreaks in Africa, in the world, and Ghana seems to be protected. We are, religious people, but I can also tell that we are very, very scientific in our approach in Ghana. We don't just take decisions amiss or haphazardly. it is well structured, well institutionalized. So just don't panic. And as time goes on, if it's making incursions into neighborhoods or neighborhood countries around us, Burkina Faso, the West African countries, Benin, you would be informed. You would be informed that there's something like that, and then you would actually upscale your defenses when it comes to protection of yourself from hantavirus. Inti membuhu at all. Membuhu.
Doc, thanks so much for doing this with us, and God bless you for your words of assurance and letting us know that we have the equipment, we have the facilities, and we have learned from COVID-19, and we've been able to prevent a lot of outbreaks from happening in Ghana. In the example from Nigeria with respect to the Lassa virus is even one that gives us assurance. Thanks so much for doing this with us. And so that was Dr. Michael Barbini. Like I said, he's been on a lot of platforms. He's been on BBC, he's been on TV3, I mean, name it, Joy, MX, and now on Gossips 24. So God bless you so much, Doc. Now, when they're mentioning you, they'll add us to your list. So we are blessed to have you on our platform. Any final word?
It's a privilege to be on Gossip 24. I've been watching Gossip 24 from medical school till today. So it's actually a privilege to. I'm actually one of your subscribers. So it's like it's a community we've built, and we're all learning from each other.
Thank you. Let's do this another time. Bye.